All right, so I'm out here again this morning, and I'm going to put the form around the porch. I am going to start with a 2x4 frame that I'll tap con into the brick or block, and then I will put a 2x6 around that for the ledge, so the concrete will come out and up. So that's the plan anyway. I got a little gap there that I've got to fill up. We changed the plan. We were going to brick, and then we went to block, and he was going to do every other one, so that's a kind of a mess on that side. And then on this side, I've got a brick that I have to take out still, which I'll get in just a second. So it's just kind of one of those things. You just kind of got to work with what you got. All right, well, let me get this started on this and just kind of see where we end up. All right, so amazingly, that went way better than I expected. So we got that brick out of there just fine. I guess when I only have to do one and I take my time, I can do just fine. I wish I'd done that on that side. All right, well, let me shut this, get this hose drained out, get these tools put away that I'm not using, and then we'll get this one cut and get it on there. For those of you that are wondering the method to my madness, I'm drilling with a wood drill through the wood. Then I'm using the concrete drill for the tap cons and with a hammer drill. And then I'm using this just to shape so the head will be flush inside the board. So when I put the other board on top, it's not sticking out. So that's kind of what I'm doing, if you're wondering. It's probably a homeowner way to do it, not a professional way to do it. I don't know what a professional does, but it definitely is a really nice and neat way to do it. So yeah, anyway, we'll get these in there and start on the front. All right, so that looks pretty good. I know that's way overkill for tap cons, but I've had blowouts before, so I'd rather overkill. You know, if you were a professional, you probably wouldn't do that many so close because it would just cost you money, but I'm not a professional, so I can do what I want. I think I'm going to cut one of those boards and tap con it right in the side to hold that concrete back in there to fill that hole, but not go crazy on it, right? Moochie got it on the front there. I'll have to knock some of that off so I can get it flat, but it'll just seal that off a little bit. So I'll do that. That way I can flow concrete in there and fill that up. All right, so because I want to go right up to the edge of the brick, right? I want it to go like that, just like that. Anyway, so I'll go get some 2x6s. Hopefully I got a couple short ones that I can tear up, and then I got a 20-footer for the long run. All right, so I think that's going to work pretty well. I need to measure that backside. I may have to lift that up some. I know that brick is tilted down just a little bit, but I may just let that flow down to there and then across. What I don't want to do is come back up, so I better check that and make sure that's 4 inches. I may have to bring that up some. But then I want to cut I got this little problem area here they made for me, or I made for me. So I need to cut a 2x4, probably notch it so that it sits like, I don't know what I'm gonna do actually. I need to bring a 2x4 just to get up in here, right? Probably put it against this, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do there. Maybe just go this way just to fill that in so it can fall out. Doesn't fall out too much, you know, it'll stop itself, but maybe I'll shove some of this rock in there too. I just don't want a big hole, right? So I want to fill that hole. So that's kind of the plan. So I think that's going to be good. I think that's going to work out pretty well. Got our board under there to hold that back, the spillage. So we'll fill in them little holes, and the same thing on that side, fill in that. We'll fill all these in, and then fill this back. All right, well, let me clean up and we'll go from there. All right, I should have started recording a little earlier, but I started digging this out. Here's my deal. I'm not going to use anywhere near 3 yards to the front. Well, not anywhere near. I got a couple yards there, right? And you have to pay for 3 yards. So then it's like, well, what else needs to be done, right? And so this needs to be done. I need to, I was going to pour this out, and then I'm going to come out about, I don't know, I need to get tape measure, but around there, oh, about 5 feet, I think. Yeah, let's just do that, 5 feet. So right in there, oops, right in there, 5 feet. And then I'll just come across and match up to this one. That'll, eventually I wanted to pour most of this anyway, so that'll be just fine. And this gets really wet here, and that'll allow me to get further along. But yeah, it'll make this nicer anyway. And then the kayak sometimes sit back here, where canoe and all that stuff can sit up in there without being in the grass. So that'll work out just fine. Give us a little extra room when I'm out here sawing and all the things that I do. So, all right, well, let me get busy on this. This is like last minute. It's just that I don't want to call a concrete truck out here, pay for the concrete, and then not use a yard of it, you know. This is gonna be more than that, but whatever, you know. Better to go a little over than not be able to use what you paid for, so. All right, so that went pretty well. I'll get in here with the pick shovel here in a second and try to dig out around this. But this is pretty clean. It's gonna lean this way and it's gonna lean this way. So he'll kind of dip to that corner and dip to that corner. and all that should flow that way. So that's kind of the idea. Like I said, I'll have to get in and clean it out with the pick shovel, but it's there. We just need to do a 12-foot board and a 5-foot board. Well, I'll do a little longer. I'll dig out behind beside this to shove that board up in here, right there. Yeah, so I'll do a 6-foot board or whatever just to get a foot on this. But it should stake out fine, and it'll be kind of a lean both ways. So, all right. So now I'm going to try to pull this pad up, just so it's same concrete all through here. You know, I can definitely wash this down for sure, but it would never match. So I think if I can break this off, I can take this down the lake and put it down there. I mean, maybe dig it in and set it in the ground on the hill down there. But for now, we'll just get it out and drag it down there. And if I can get it out, it'll be a good test though, because I'm going to eventually take these back porches off of the house too. So it'll be a good test of what's to come. Far enough to get the machine behind, I can just push it. You need to get a bunch of carts under here or something. I need small road carts or something. It's going to be too deep for me to...
So you've got things here, if you've got cords, you can...
Do what?
Your rebar, you can...
There's rebar on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the machine at full... So that was pretty crazy, huh? It pulled out there nice. There was a couple pieces of rebar. I guess I bent one, pulling it out sideways. If I would have pulled it out straight first, but I couldn't get it straight, right? Couldn't pull it because that lip goes over the top, the door threshold. But cool. That's good. I'll dig this out, a bunch of brick and rock and all kinds of stuff under here. I'll have to clear back a little bit to get this angle the way I want it. It's good though. Now I can make a even more of an angle, I guess, even steeper of an angle, I guess. And I kind of want it to go this way, and you know, from the door this way, and a little bit as I come down here I want it to go this way. So cool, that's gonna be neat. Let's go for a ride, eh? Alright, so it's looking pretty good, I think. I mean, I'm getting this packed down in the center. This one little area right here seemed a little soft to me for some reason. So I'm just smashing it down, smashing it down, smashing it down. I took all the big stuff out. I could have left it in there and smashed it. I don't like that stuff being there. I'll come back in and put 57 on top of this in some places, but it's really not that terrible. It's pretty rocky under here anyway. They must have, this must have been where they had their gravel stacked when they did the basement or whatever. You know, it must have come out this way because this was going to be the door. So the gravel must have come out here. So there's lots of gravel in here. So I don't think we're in any way, shape, or form in trouble as far as compaction and stuff. Just this one little place, right? And yeah, I might have got a little crazy digging there, but I wanted all that big stuff out of there. So you could tell it was never settled correctly around it anyway. So anyway, yeah, that's the deal. We got that out. We got this big pile here. I'll have to clear this off, so that'll be my next job. I'll just run it down to my junk pile down there. Like, I wish I'd done this like a month ago because I could either use this up front behind our sign and the neighborhood sign. That would have been good fill to go underneath the other fill, but I'm definitely not putting it on top of that stuff that we have down there now. So anyway, that's a bunch of junk right there. Let me truck it down to the lake and I'll put it in a big pile down there. I got a couple different piles. I got piles of stuff that has trash in it, but I can use. It's decent fill. I got stuff like this that can go, if as long as it's going to get buried, it can go somewhere. And then, yeah, And then I got good dirt, but not very much of it, honestly. All right, well, let me get trucking this stuff out of here. Get rid of this big pile. I did way more than I was expecting to. I wasn't expecting to do this, but then when we calculated up the concrete, I sure didn't want to waste the load, or yard. So I ended up doing this. I will continue to pack this down. I still need to chip that out over there and a little bit picking around the sides, but it's looking really good. I'm way past where I need to be, so I'm not too worried about this trash here. I'll just fill it back in. Somewhere right in here is where we're gonna go, and we'll meet up over here. And that'll be a good pad, and I'll keep it leaned this way so the water can run away from the door, so that'll be a lot nicer. And now that I'm doing it this way, I can definitely get a better lean on it, because I was trying to conform to the concrete that was there, which came out to there. Now I can just lean it all the way from one end to the other. The hose is covered. I did leave myself this because I need to run a water line and electric line out. One for the dock down there and another for a garden if we have a garden. We're talking about putting one in right over here. So yeah, that's why I left that alone. And of course I'll put some gravel in here. We got some 57 over there. I'll bring that around and put it in here. We'll spread that out as needed. But that's going to be it for today. I'm going to dump this and then grab all this stuff and clean up for the night. It was a good run though. It's a good run. All right, good morning. Hey, it's the day after. Well, we worked pretty late last night. Of course, his schedule got tied up, so he couldn't even get out here till late. We're still on track to pour on Monday. I don't even know what you can see in the dark. I mean, I know I had the lights on, but one of the things that we did discover, though, while we were doing this is I only put one 2x4 in there because my stone is 1.5 inches wide. By the time you add mortar, it may stick out a little bit. And I didn't want that. I want the water to go over, not have the possibility of getting behind my stone. So I need to add a 2x4 all the way around this thing. That's the great thing about my concrete guy is we're kind of buddies, so we can talk stuff like that out. He'll help me out if he sees something, or we can discuss it or whatever. So anyway, let me get busy. That's not a very good explanation, I know. Let me get busy. You'll see what I'm doing. I need 51 and 3/8 2x6 inch. 51 and 3/8 inch 2x6. I don't want to cut the 16 footer I got over here. I need that for later. So I'm going to go look around the garage one last time to make sure I don't have something that's going to work before I cut that. If I do, if I don't, I don't. I mean, I want it to be one piece. It's going to show. I don't want a seam or rib on the side, so I'd like to do it all in one piece and to be steadier if it's one piece. So let me go see what I can find, and if not, I'll live with what I have. And I'll cut that board. I'll be back. Well, what do you know? You just have to dig deep enough, and I found one. So we'll get this cut up and get it on there. That's nice because I didn't want to cut that board. All right, so that was a good little Sunday morning project. If you're wondering, I didn't need to cut the end of that off. It's just, I just wanted it to be prettier. I didn't want that to stab anybody, when they're working. But yeah, and also I went ahead and put another board on the side there just to fill in that little bit of a hole. So, it was just like a little crack, but that'll keep the concrete from flowing out that way. Of course, I'll wrap my posts the morning, well, probably tonight. So they're ready for tomorrow morning when he comes. I'll do it in the morning, but I'll wrap the bottom of those posts so the concrete doesn't splatter up on that. And we should be good. They'll tie all this, of course, in the morning. And yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. And then, of course, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you could see last night what we did down here, but basically just made this pad a little bigger. It's going to go right up against my rock on the one side, and the door on the other side, and then we have it leaning this way so the water will continue to flow on out. But that'll make a nice, good place for my grill for when, eventually this basement will be finished and we can put the grill for the family out here, and the place for the kayaks not to be sitting on the grass and, whatever. So that's kind of what this is going to be about. Eventually I may pour it, from here to the end of the rock wall and kind of pour that out, whatever. I don't know. For right now, though, this is what I'm doing. Really, this all came from, too many yards, right? Or not enough yards. So I think I was pretty dang close, but you might as well pour this at the same time. It cost me just a little more, but in the scheme of things, it's going to be nice. And we got a nice pad going here. All right, so that's it. Let me go clean up, and I'll see you guys later. Probably, well, it'll be tomorrow, I guess, for this episode, because we're pouring tomorrow at 11, supposedly. So hopefully they get here at a good time. We get all this tied together, and we're in a good place. So, all right.